Good morning, students. Today we come back with chapter 3, that is population composition. Now, to study population composition, we have to study various aspects of population change or various components of population that will actually tell you what the population is all about. So, the first component that we are going to study today is sex ratio. What is sex ratio? Sex ratio is the number of women and men in a country. It is a very important demographic characteristic. Now, sex ratio is also called sex composition. Both are same. How do we calculate sex ratio? Is sex ratio is calculated by number of males per thousand females. So how many male population do we have per thousand female population? In your book it is clearly stated that to find out sex ratio, it is the total male population divided by the total female population into 1000. So it stands the number of females per 1000 males. It can be calculated by two ways. It is the male population by female population into 1000, or female population by male population into 1000. In India, it is number of females per 1000 males. So it is calculated number the female population divided by the male population into 1000. But in the world scenario, it is male population by female population into 1000. So when we talk about sex ratio of the world, we say number of males per 1000 females. When we talk of sex composition or sex ratio of India, we say it number of females per 1000 males. That is the calculation for sex composition. Now, why do we study sex composition? Why is it important? It is very important because it speaks a lot about the status of the woman in that particular region or a country. It talks about the woman's economic status, political status, or basically the economic rights, the political rights, the social right of the women in that area. It also speaks about medical facilities, the social structure of the area. It talks about literacy level of the women. It talks about migration. It talks about uh, the prediction for population change. So many things you can predict by studying sex ratio. For example, if the sex ratio is low, that means number of females are less than number of males. What kind of an economy will it? Economic can be high, economy can be low, but the status of women in such a country where there is low sex ratio, where female population is less than the male population, it means that the woman does not enjoy the same social, economic, and political rights like the men. It also indicates the preference of a male child. Why is the preference of a male child? There's a preference of a male child. Why? Because the economy is low, and a male child will contribute towards the financial help of the family. That is why the male child prejudices. Prejudices why? Because there is lack of education, there is lack of literacy. So on a total basis, we can study about the social structure of the region when we study the sex composition of the region. It also can predict future population. For example, even if the fertility rate is very high of women in the country, but the women population is very less, then also the population growth will be very slow. But if the female population is more, having low fertility, then also the population will have a big change. So the number of females in the society, female population is reproductive population. So the sex ratio talks about prediction of future population also. So that is why we say that study of sex ratio is very important in study of demography or in the study of population. Now, if we come to the world scenario, the sex ratio of the world is 102 males per 100 females, or 984 females per 1000 males. So, in the world scenario, also we see that the female population is low. The highest sex ratio is found in the country of Latvia. It is in a European country where there are 85 males per 100 females. And the lowest sex ratio is found in Qatar, which has 311 males per 100 females. So this is all about sex ratio that we have studied so far. The next component that we are going to study is the age structure. What is age structure? We can divide the population into categories to understand which population is more. And universal category that the population is divided into is children, adult, and old population. So population being divided according to their age is basically your age structure, where the lowest part of the pyramid is child, then is adult, and then is the old population. Now, why do we study age structure? Age structure also indicates many things. For example, if the child population is large, that means the number of dependent population is more in the economy. So even if the productive population, that is the adult population, is producing or creating resource, then also the share of resources per person is low. Why? Because the created resource, available resource, it is getting divided among the children population, the young population, as well as the old population. So basically, developing economy or developing countries, they will have large population in the children category, which indicates that the economy is developing or the economy is low. Having more population in the young category indicates good economy because this is productive. This population is productive as well as reproductive. So it is again going to add population to the scenario, to the region, as well as it is going to be very productive. If this population is large, production will also be large, creation of more resources. So automatically the country will progress or be a developed country, or maybe developing country with a higher economic status. Next comes your old population. If the old population is large, what does it indicate? If the old population is large, it indicates very good medical facilities. That is why the life expectancy is very large. Because of large life expectancy, the population or the old population is living for a longer time. But we must remember that old population is also a dependent population. They are not active productively, they don't add to the national income, they don't add to the GDP, but their income, their pension, everything adds on to the total economy of the country. Moreover, more old population also indicates that there is less children population. Why? Because the country might have no natural growth, there is no live birth in that country, but because of very good medical facilities, old population is living for a longer time. So this kind of population, where old population is very large, it is basically found in developed economy. So studying sex ratio as well as age structure, we can understand various parts of or various attributes of the economy. We can also understand about the social structure of the country. We can also understand the medical status of the country. Thank you.